Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. This little yoga flow is supposed to be kind of a companion to the last one I posted, which is like a morning flow. This one is a nice evening time using the props. It'll be very low to the ground, very slow. And yeah, go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment for engagement. And let's go ahead and hop right into it. So just like the first class, we're just going to start in a Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, reclining back. And then just like before, if this feels a little bit like too much, you can go ahead and slide some blocks underneath your knees, or you can just allow gravity to do its work and gently open up your hips. Allow the palms to be flipped up in a gesture of receiving. Forgot to mention that this class will be using the yoga wheel, a strap, and some blocks, foregoing the booty band. So we'll just allow this to be a little bit more relaxing, help to set you up for evening time. Let's take a big inhale through the nose. Release it out through the mouth. Let's take a few more breaths like that. Just allowing yourself to let go of your day, any stresses or tensions or worries. And allow yourself to come into center here on your mat. As we're ready, let's go ahead and take our knees up towards the sky. Let's draw our right knee in towards our chest and send our left leg long. Just give yourself a nice squeeze. Pull that knee a little bit more so into your right armpit. So let it open up just a touch. And then as we're ready, open up through the right arm, inhale, and exhale, pull that knee over to the left, getting a nice twist. Bring it back through center, gather in your left knee, send your right leg out long, keep squeezing in that right knee, maybe open it up a little bit more towards your left armpit. Some deep breaths here. Let it open away from the chest, open up through your left arm, inhale, and exhale, pull that knee over towards the right, taking it into a twist. Good, let's take it back in. Draw both of your knees into your chest. Have a little rock and roll here, side to side. And when we're ready, we're just going to roll up towards seated. Okay, so from here, we're going to utilize our yoga wheel. Take both of your feet down onto the mat. Take the yoga wheel right behind you. Lean back onto it. Allow your hands to help support your head. And then all we're going to do is just roll a little bit up. So use your feet to guide you, and then a little bit down. So by that, I mean the yoga block or the yoga wheel is going to move down the spine and then up the spine as you control it with your feet. So just a few times here, massaging the back. Maybe you let the head drop back a little bit. I know I've been feeling a few crackles and pops, so allow this to feel good. And then go ahead, sit your bum down on the ground. Keep on supporting the head as you just arch up and over onto that wheel. If you would like to, you can straighten out your legs. You can come into a butterfly pose, whatever feels good here. We're just going to take 3 breaths. And then use those hands to help support the head up, looking forward. Use your hands by your side to help press yourself up towards seated. We're going to continue on with this yoga wheel. So straighten out your right leg and let's set the left foot onto the wheel. Just take your hands behind you. Have your fingertips directed wherever feels good. We're just going to do a little massage of our hip flexor here. So we're going to straighten out the leg, maybe puff up the chest, and then bend the knee back into the chest, using that wheel to help push it a little bit closer in. So getting a hamstring stretch, and then a little bit of compression on the hip flexor. Try to make sure that that wheel is going nicely forward and back. I know sometimes I've gotten it on an angle and it doesn't work quite as well. Good. So the next time that we lengthen out the leg, let it stay there, maybe a gentle flex through the foot, and maybe this is enough. If you're already feeling it through your left hamstring, go ahead and stay here. If you need a little bit more, try to prop yourself so that you're upright. This definitely increases the pose. If you can, maybe reach towards your toes, and then if you want a little bit more, then we're just going to fold forward. Don't worry about the rounding in the spine if it's there. So wherever you are, just taking a few breaths, directing your energy into the hamstring. Good. Remove your hands from your foot. Go ahead and bend your right knee. Open it up to the side, so let it flop out like a half butterfly. And then we're going to open up towards the long edge of your mat. So however feels good here, you notice that my left hip is lifting, so I'm just going to bring my knee a little bit further in so that my left hip can stay grounded. We're going to take this into a little bit of a twist. So take your right hand behind you, left hand to your right knee, and just press yourself open. Try to look over your right shoulder or towards the back edge of the mat, if that's easier for your brain to handle. Good. Let's slowly unwind. Take both of the hands behind you. Try to set yourself up nice and tall. So acting like our legs, or both of our legs, are extended, we're going to come into the middle of the legs, sit up nice and tall. This might be enough for you. If you'd like a little bit more, you can take both of your hands to the inside of the legs and try to fold forward. I don't come very far. Maybe you go a lot further than I do. Maybe you're a little bit more reduced. It's all okay. We're just trying to get a little bit of a different stretch than we could without this good old wheel. Good. Let's release our hands back behind us. Straighten out through that right leg. And we're just going to switch. So wiggle it out a little bit here. And then go ahead, set your right foot on the block or on the wheel. Set your hands behind you. Try to puff up through the chest. And then we're just going to do the same thing. So straighten out that leg and bend. Straighten out and bend. So finding a little bit of compression through the hip flexor, that crease in the hip, and then a little bit of length through the hamstring as you extend. Just warming up that leg. The next time that we straighten out, let's let it stay there. We can stay where we are, especially if we're already feeling a stretch through the hamstring. We can start to prop ourselves up a little bit more, so maybe our back is nice and long. I'm feeling this a lot through my hamstring already. If you need a little bit more, reach for the toes, inhale to lift, and then maybe exhale, we can bow, get a little bit deeper. Once again, it's totally okay if your back is rounding a bit, but try to find a little bit of length, so maybe looking towards the toes so you have something to reach for. Good, let's go ahead and release. Once again, we're gonna bend the left knee. We're gonna open it up to the side, and I'm actually gonna come around here so you can see what I'm doing. And then we're going to go ahead and open up that knee so that we have a little bit more space through the hips. So from here, we're going to take our left hand behind us, right hand to the knee, and just go ahead and twist looking over the shoulder. See if you can keep that right hip grounded. Good. From here, we're going to unwind. Act like both of your legs are extended. So coming right in between the legs. Maybe the hands are behind you. You're up on the fingertips trying to find some length. Maybe your hands can come to the inside of the thighs and you can lean forward. Once again, this doesn't look too dramatic on my end. Your leg is already up in the sky, so it's already as if you're a little bit folded. So don't worry if it doesn't look glamorous or anything like that. Just doing it to the best of your ability. And notice if one side feels a little bit more open than the other. I know this right leg feels a little bit more open for me. Good. Let's go ahead back out of that. Let's take your foot off of the wheel. And we're going to go ahead and come back onto our backs. Grab your strap. We'll meet there. So let's go ahead and start with both of our feet down onto the ground. And we're going to use the strap to help catch our right foot. I like to loop my hands around. And we're going to give a little bit of a pull. So once again, just lengthening through the back of the hamstring. Hopefully we'll find a little bit more opening than if we did this at the beginning of the class, because our hamstrings are a little bit more open already. If you would like to take this further, you're going to lengthen out your left leg. So pull in and release. So just riding that edge and then letting it go. Pull in and release. Pull in and release. From here, maybe find about 50% of your deepest stretch. So a place that we can hold where you're feeling some sensation. Let's just go ahead and let our leg stay wherever we are. If you find that at any point you have more space, you can just take it in a little bit further. Good. Release that foot or that leg a little bit away from the chest. Let both sides of the strap come into your right hand. Open up the left arm to the left, big inhale, then exhale, allow that right leg to just sweep over to the side. The goal here isn't necessarily to get the foot all the way to the ground, so allow it to hover just a little bit. Left foot is nice and engaged, flexing, and maybe you can turn the toes out to the left just to encourage that opening in the hips. Let both of your hips be rooted, so we're not letting it fall to the ground and then our left hip is up in space. We're keeping everything knitted in. Good. Soften through the knee as you sweep yourself back up through center. We're going to switch the grip into the left hand, open up into the right, inhale, and then exhale, take that leg over to your left, taking it across the body. Hopefully you have a little bit more space than I do here. Good, and nice and gentle. We'll bend the knee, take it back up through center, and then just set the right foot onto the ground. I'm going to just scoot over a little bit so I have a bit more space. We're going to go ahead and start through the other side. So trap that left leg or the left foot in the strap. And then once again, we're just kind of pull that in and let it go. Pull it in and release. Both of your hips still rooted into the ground. Don't let that left hip hike up. I know I can go a lot further if I let it do that. Good. And if we want to take it a little bit further, go ahead, lengthen out the right leg. Pull in and out just a few more times. Good. Pull that leg in now, just about 50% of your max. So not some place that we want to move out of immediately, but still feeling some sensation through the back of that left leg. Good. Go ahead and release it out a little bit. Send both sides of the strap into your left hand. Open up through your right arm. Inhale and exhale. Allow that left leg to come over. Opening up into the inner thigh. Once again, our right leg is nice and engaged. Point that toe either up towards the sky or let it open up to the right, a little bit turned out, just to help increase the sensation through the inner thigh. Good. Go ahead, bend the knee, send it back up towards the sky, switch the grip into your right hand, open up the left, inhale, and exhale, go ahead and send it over into a crossbody twist. As with most things, I just want you to kind of notice the differences between the two sides, the differences between all three of the stretches. Let's soften through the knee, drop back up through center, extend the leg one more time, and then just release the strap. Set it off to the side. Hopefully your blocks are handy, or I guess we're just going to need one block here. So kind of similar to that morning time stretch, we're just going to lift the hips and slide the block underneath the hips. So maybe this time you do it on a low setting, just to give yourself a little bit of space, but you're still low to the ground. Take your hands open and let's just lift one leg at a time up towards the sky. Maybe finding a bit of stillness. Maybe you want to move out just a little bit, but hopefully we've already opened up our hamstrings a bit. So trying to find those heels over the hips. So that place where your legs feel relatively weightless. Good. Allowing the blood that tends to stagnate in the feet recirculate into the body. Your feet do a lot for you every day, so we're giving them a little bit of love by sticking them up in the air and allowing the rest of the body to take a little bit of weight. Nice and slow, we'll set one foot down at a time. Of course, you can stay in that pose if it feels extra delicious. Let's take the block out from underneath us and take our heels towards the edges of our mat. Open up our arms, palms flipped up, coming into a little Shavasana. Spend some time here to allow the body to process and integrate all that we've done throughout our short practice together. Allow yourself to stay in the Shavasana for however long you may need. Maybe you simply move up to your bed and continue the Shavasana into your night and into sleep. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.